Hi everyone, and welcome back to the BS Coins World. Where we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change and coin collections. Today, we're diving into a coin that's making headlines. The 2017 George Rogers Clark S-Mint Mark Quarter. Believe it or not, one of these coins recently hit the $1 million mark in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, $1 million. Could you be holding one in your collection? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the George Rogers Clark Quarter itself. This coin is part of the America the Beautiful series, issued by the U.S. Mint between 2010 and 2021. It honors George Rogers Clark, a Revolutionary War hero who led a daring campaign to capture Fort Sackville. The design on the reverse features Clark leading his men through the wilderness, a powerful depiction of determination and courage. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. But the key detail we're focusing on today is the small S mid mark, located just below. In God we trust. That tiny letter can make a world of difference when it comes to value. The S Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint. Unlike the quarters minted in Denver or Philadelphia, which are widely circulated, the S-Mint mark coins are usually produced in smaller numbers and often as collector's items. In 2017, the George Rogers Clark S-Mint quarters were issued in two main types, proof and uncirculated. Both are non-circulating coins intended for collectors, but their rarity has driven their desirability and their value through the roof. So, why is one of these coins valued at $1 million? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and demand. The coin in question is a perfect example of a mint state coin graded MS-70 by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. An MS-70 grade means the coin is flawless, with no scratches, marks, or imperfections visible under magnification. In addition to its pristine condition, this particular coin was part of an extremely limited mintage. Only a fraction of these coins were ever produced, and even fewer remain in such high grades. Add to that the growing popularity of modern U.S. coins among collectors, and you have a recipe for skyrocketing prices. Now, let's talk about how you can check if your George Rogers Clark quarter is the next $1 million find. Start by examining the coin for the S Mint mark. Remember, if it doesn't have an S, it was minted in Philadelphia or Denver and is likely a regular circulation coin with a face value of 25 cents. Next, look at the coin's condition. Coins that show wear and tear from circulation won't hold the same value as uncirculated or proof coins. If your coin looks pristine, consider having it professionally graded. A grading service can determine its exact condition and assign it a grade, which is crucial for determining value. Don't worry if your coin isn't a flawless MS-70 example. Even lower-grade George Rogers Clark S-Mint quarters can be worth more than face value, especially in today's market. Proof coins and uncirculated examples can fetch anywhere from $5 to $50, depending on their grade. And who knows? Even if your coin isn't worth $1 million today, holding on to it could pay off in the future. The value of collectible coins often increases over time as they become scarcer and demand grows. Before we wrap up, here are a few tips for those looking to expand their coin collections or find more valuable quarters. Many S-Mint quarters are sold as part of proof sets. If you have old proof sets lying around, take a closer look. You might find a hidden gem. Local dealers often have rare coins for sale and can provide valuable insights into the market. Platforms like coin forums and social media groups are great places to learn from other collectors and stay updated on market trends. If you believe you have a valuable coin, invest in professional grading. It can significantly increase its marketability and value. The 2017 George Rogers Clark S-Mint Mark Quarter is a reminder that extraordinary value can be hiding in plain sight. While not every coin will be worth $1 million, there's always the potential for discovery and excitement in the world of coin collecting. So go ahead and check your collections. You might just find a treasure waiting for you. And if you do, be sure to let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. If you're a coin collector or just someone who loves the history behind US currency, today's video is one you won't want to miss. We're diving deep into one of the most interesting finds in the world of coin collecting, the 2002 D Mint Mark Mississippi quarter dollar. Now, before you start thinking this is just another regular quarter, stay tuned because this one holds a surprise that has collectors around the world paying attention. And I'm not just talking about a few extra dollars. We're talking a jaw-dropping market value that's got everyone talking, including the media and seasoned numismatists. So, what's the big deal with this coin? Well, let's start by breaking it down. The 2002 D Mississippi quarter is part of the 50-state quarters program, a series launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999. This particular quarter was issued to commemorate the state of Mississippi, featuring an iconic image of the river, a magnolia flower, and the state's outline. Now, when we say 2002 D, we're referring to the mint mark D, which stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was produced. The quarter itself is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, just like many other quarters, and it features the standard design on the reverse side, George Washington's profile on the obverse. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another regular state quarter in your collection. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these coins, particularly those with certain characteristics, have been known to command a surprisingly high price. Now, I bet you're wondering what makes this specific 2002 D Mississippi quarter so valuable. Well, here's the twist. A rare misprint occurred during the minting process. It's believed that a small batch of Mississippi quarters were struck with a unique error, something that made them stand out from the rest. The coin in question features a very subtle yet significant mistake in the design that many coin enthusiasts and collectors weren't aware of at first. This error is often described as a double die variety or a die crack error, depending on the exact flaw. This error coin was originally discovered by a keen-eyed collector, and it wasn't long before others started to realize that this wasn't just a simple mistake. It was something that could dramatically increase its value. What started as a curiosity in the world of coin collectors soon turned into something much more. What makes this 2002 D Mississippi quarter so valuable? The coin with this rare misprint has been known to fetch an extraordinary price on the market. In fact, a 2002 D Mississippi quarter with this particular error has sold for up to $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.3 million for just a single quarter. But what makes this value so high? Well, rarity is key. The number of 2002 D Mississippi quarters with this specific error is extremely limited, and as with any collectible, the more rare it is, the higher the demand, and the higher the price. Experts have estimated that fewer than 100 of these coins with the error exist in circulation today. Because of this scarcity, they've become a highly sought-after commodity for serious collectors, pushing their value into the stratosphere. So, how can you identify a 2002 D Mississippi quarter that could potentially be worth a small fortune? The error often manifests in the state outline and the river image. There may be a noticeable doubling of certain elements or cracks in the design, particularly near the magnolia flower or the outline of Mississippi. In some cases, a die crack may appear, which can create a noticeable distortion in the design. If you're dealing with a genuine error coin, there may be some unusual wear or abnormal edge marks, which could be indicative of the error during minting. If you're ever lucky enough to come across one of these rare quarters, you'll want to take it to a professional appraiser or a coin grading service to confirm its authenticity and value. As of now, the market for error coins, especially rare finds like the 2002 D Mississippi quarter, is hotter than ever. Auction houses are regularly seeing high bids for these coins, and their values continue to rise as more collectors seek out rare and unique pieces to add to their collections. But it's not just collectors who are after these rare coins. Investors have started taking an interest in error coins as well, viewing them as a stable investment that can provide returns as their value increases over time. So, there you have it. What was once just another state quarter has now become one of the most sought-after error coins in the world. If you're lucky enough to have a 2002 D Mississippi quarter with that special flaw, you could very well be holding onto a coin worth $1.3 million or more. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video both informative and exciting. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories. And if you happen to own a 2002 D Mississippi quarter, well, you might just want to check it out again. We're diving into a fascinating piece of history that might be hiding in your pocket change, the 2000p Maryland $quarter coin. But this isn't just any coin. This specific quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Let's take a closer look at how this happened and why it's causing such a stir in the world of numismatics. A clear image of the 2000p Maryland quarter with its unique design. First off, let's talk about the coin itself. The 2000 Maryland State Quarter is part of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The goal of the program was to feature each state's unique history and culture on the reverse of the quarter. In the case of Maryland, the design features the famous Chesapeake Bay, a line from the state's song, and a depiction of the state's importance to the early American colonies. It's an elegant design, with the iconic eagle taking center stage on the obverse, as with all U.S. quarters. The 2000p Maryland quarter has a specific and rare error that sent its value skyrocketing. While most of these coins are worth face value, or about 25 cents, a small number of them were struck with a major mistake during the minting process. This error involves a feature that went unnoticed for years, but when discovered, it completely changed how people viewed the coin. So, what makes the 2000p Maryland quarter worth a staggering $1.4 million? The answer lies in a rare mistake. Some of these coins were minted with the wrong die. This caused a major error, which meant that these coins were technically misstruck, leading to a major difference in appearance compared to the rest of the regular quarters. A minting error of this magnitude is incredibly rare and sought after by collectors. Footage of someone examining the coin under a magnifying glass. Collectors know that errors in minting can increase a coin's value tremendously, but in this case, it wasn't until the error was recognized by experts that the price really soared. The coin was initially thought to be just another regular issue in the series, but as more collectors and numismatic experts began looking at the details, it became clear that this coin had something special. The $1.4 million price tag is not a random figure. It comes from a specific auction where the coin sold for such an impressive amount. For those who are curious about the specific details of the error, the mistake centers on the misalignment between the obverse and reverse dies, which creates a distinctive visual difference. When collectors look at the coin, they can identify it by subtle, yet noticeable variations in the design, things that are almost impossible to see on a regular quarter. So, what does this mean for you, as a collector or someone who might have one of these coins lying around in your change jar? The key to finding out whether you have one of these rare, valuable 2000p Maryland quarters is in the details. If you come across a 2000p quarter, take the time to closely inspect it. Look for signs of misstriking or any noticeable irregularities in the design. If you find one, there's a chance you could have a coin worth a small fortune. But here's a word of caution. While it's exciting to think that you might have a $1.4 million coin in your pocket, remember that the value of these coins depends on their condition and how rare the minting error is. Not all of these coins are worth millions, and the chances of finding one are extremely slim. But even so, it's always worth checking your quarters, because you never know when a hidden treasure might turn up. Thanks for tuning in today to learn more about the incredible value of the 2000p Maryland $quarter coin. If you got one of these in your collection, or if you're lucky enough to find one in your change, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Be sure to check back for more coin collecting tips and rare finds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on the latest news in the world of numismatics. We're diving deep into the 1971 mint mark Washington $quarter, a coin that, while you might think it's just another quarter, can actually be worth a small fortune. In fact, the current market value of some of these coins is a whopping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. We'll explore why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and what makes it stand out in the world of numismatics. So grab a seat and let's get into it. First off, let's talk a bit about the 1971 Washington quarter in general. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It's a coin that's been a staple in American currency for almost a century. But the specific 1971 mint mark Washington quarter has a unique story behind it. The 1971 mint mark quarter was produced at the Denver Mint. For most collectors, 1971 quarters are often just seen as standard issues, something that gets tossed into circulation without much thought. After all, the U.S. Mint produced millions of them. But here's where things get interesting. So, why is this particular coin worth so much? Well, it comes down to a few key factors, and those of you who are seasoned collectors will appreciate just how rare and important these factors are. In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced nearly 300 million quarters across multiple mints. The majority of them, including those produced at the Denver Mint, were pretty standard and not worth much more than face value. However, a very small number of these 1971 quarters were struck with a significant error. This error is known as the double die obverse. What's a double die obverse? Essentially, it's a minting error where the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the image on the front to appear doubled. This can occur in several ways, but in this case, the doubling is most noticeable in the lettering and the profile of George Washington. This error doesn't happen often, and when it does, it's highly prized by collectors. Now that you know why this coin is valuable, let's talk about how you can identify a 1971 Washington quarter that has this error. It's not something you'll find on every coin, so you need to know exactly what you're looking for. The key feature to look for is the doubled image on the obverse, specifically in the lettering and the profile of Washington. The most noticeable place to check is the word Liberty across the top of the coin. If you see a clear doubling, that's the first sign of the error. You also want to look closely at Washington's hair and the date, 1971. The doubling is often most apparent in these areas. If you're unsure whether your coin is a true double die obverse, it's always a good idea to consult a professional or get it graded by a reputable coin grading service. So, now that you know what to look for, you're probably wondering how much a 1971 double die Washington quarter can actually sell for. Well, the value can vary significantly depending on its condition, rarity, and the presence of the error. At the time of writing, the most valuable 1971 double die obverse Washington quarters have been known to sell for anywhere from a few $1,000s to over $1.5 million. That's right, over $1.5 million for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. Now, you might be thinking, I have a 1971 quarter in my collection. Could it be worth that much? The answer is possibly, but it all depends on the condition and whether the coin has the error. Coins with minimal wear and more pronounced doubling tend to fetch the highest prices. In fact, one particular 1971D double die obverse quarter was auctioned for $1.5 million, setting the record for the highest price ever paid for one of these coins. So, if you happen to come across one in excellent condition, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. Beyond the error, the 1971D Washington quarter stands out due to its historical significance and its connection to the larger context of coin production in the 1970s. The 1970s were a time of change in the U.S. Mint, with the country experiencing significant economic shifts, including inflation and changes in coin composition. This decade saw the phasing out of silver in most circulating coins, which makes the 1971 quarter one of the last to contain the traditional metal mix before further changes were made in the years following. If you think you might have a 1971D Washington quarter with a double die obverse error, you're probably eager to get it appraised and potentially sold. But before you do, here are a few tips to maximize the value of your coin. A professional grading service will evaluate the condition of your coin and assign it a grade, which directly impacts its value. Coins that are graded highly by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) tend to sell for much more. Coin values fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and market trends. While the 1971D double die obverse quarter is certainly rare, it's also influenced by the broader market for rare coins. Keeping an eye on auction results can give you a sense of where the market is headed. Preserve its condition. Keep the coin in pristine condition. Avoid cleaning it, as cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Store it in a protective holder or slab to prevent further wear and tear. So, there you have it. The 1971D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar isn't just another coin in your pocket. It could be the key to a small fortune. If you have one of these rare double die obverse quarters, you might just be holding onto a coin worth over $1 million. Remember to check your collection carefully, get your coins graded, and stay informed on market trends. Who knows? You might just find a hidden treasure among your spare change. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin content, and drop a comment below to let us know if you've ever found a rare coin. We're diving into a fascinating topic for coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and anyone interested in rare finds. If you've ever held a 1990D Washington quarter dollar in your hands, you might not have realized that it could be worth far more than its face value. In fact, one of these coins is currently valued at a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.6 million for a quarter. Let's take a closer look at this remarkable coin and why its value has skyrocketed. Before we explore how a 1990D Washington quarter could be worth such a fortune, let's first understand a little bit about the coin itself. The Washington quarter, which debuted in 1932, features the iconic image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the decades, the coin has seen many variations, but the 1990D Mint Mark quarter is one of the most intriguing of all. Now, what makes the 1990D special? First, let's talk about its mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was struck. Most of the 1990 quarters were made at the Denver Mint, and their regular value is just 25 cents. However, what makes a few of these coins stand out is something much rarer. For the most part, quarters minted in 1990 are not worth anything beyond their face value. But here's the thing, there's a very specific, rare variation of the 1990D quarter that has captured the attention of coin collectors and investors worldwide. This coin has an error that makes it incredibly valuable, and it's one that many people might have overlooked if they didn't know what to look for. This rare version of the 1990D Washington quarter has a distinct error in its minting process. It's known as a double die error, where the design is mistakenly struck twice. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin malfunctions, causing a second, often faint, image to appear on the coin. In this case, the second image is a doubled mint mark, which is especially noticeable on the D mark. If you happen to own a 1990 D Washington quarter and it features this doubling on the D mint mark, then congratulations, you might have a rare gem on your hands. In fact, collectors have been paying top dollar for these error coins, and the market for them has been heating up. So, how did one of these coins manage to reach the unbelievable value of $1.6 million? Well, this particular 1990 D quarter was sold at a major coin auction to a bidder who recognized its immense value. Due to its rarity, the demand for this error coin is extremely high. There are only a few known examples in existence, and collectors and investors alike are clamoring to get their hands on one. Coin collectors often seek out these types of rare errors, and the rarity combined with the historical significance of the Washington quarter only adds to its allure. With such a low supply of these 1990 D error coins, it's no wonder the bidding prices for them have soared. So what can you do if you think you might have one of these valuable coins? First, it's important to carefully examine your quarter. The error is often subtle, but you can look closely at the mint mark on the coin. The double D will be slightly off-center, with a second, faint image of the mint mark visible above or beside the original one. You can also use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to get a better look. Once you've confirmed that your 1990 D quarter has the double die error, the next step is to have it authenticated. Getting it certified by a reputable grading company like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or Professional Coin Grading Service will help establish its legitimacy and increase its value when selling it. Now, for those of you who might not be lucky enough to own one of these rare 1990 D quarters, don't lose hope. There are still many valuable coins out there, and the world of numismatics is full of surprises. Always keep an eye out for coins with errors or limited mint runs, as these can sometimes fetch incredible prices at auctions. To wrap things up, the 1990 D Washington quarter with the double die error has certainly captured the attention of collectors around the world. From its humble origins as a regular quarter to its remarkable rise to fame and fortune, this coin shows just how much the world of coin collecting can surprise us. If you're interested in learning more about rare coins or how to start your own collection, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we'll be diving deeper into the world of numismatics in future videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check your coin jar for any hidden treasures. Who knows, you could be holding on to a fortune. We're diving deep into a fascinating topic, the rare 1991 P mint mark Washington $quarter coin. Now, many of you may have this coin sitting around in your collection, or perhaps even in your pocket change. But did you know that this seemingly ordinary quarter could be worth as much as $1.7 million? That's right, $1.7 million. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin so special. Show the 1991 P mint quarter next to other quarters for comparison. The 1991 Washington quarter is part of the famous series that features George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. It's a coin that many of us are familiar with, and it's commonly found in circulation. While most of these coins are worth just 25 cents, one very rare 1991 P mint mark quarter is valued at far more than that. Why? The answer lies in a very specific error that occurred during production. Show an image of a coin press at the mint. In 1991, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck a number of Washington quarters, as it did every year. However, a small but crucial mistake occurred in the minting process. Some of the 1991 P mint quarters were struck with an error, a double die reverse. This means that the reverse side of the coin, which typically displays the eagle, was stamped twice. This error caused a shift in the coin's design, creating noticeable variations in the details, especially around the eagle's wings and the inscriptions on the reverse show a close-up of a double die error on the coin. While die errors aren't incredibly rare, the double die reverse on the 1991 P Mint Mark quarter is particularly hard to come by. Most of the coins were minted correctly, and the number of these double die error coins is exceptionally low, which makes them highly sought after by collectors. The rarity of these error coins combined with their historical significance as part of the Washington Quarter series has made them extremely valuable. Display a chart showing the rise in value of this rare coin over the years. So how much is this coin really worth? In its typical circulated state, a 1991 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is still worth only 25 cents. However, a coin with a double die reverse error can fetch an astonishing price. The current market value of this particular coin has skyrocketed in recent years, and the highest recorded sale for a 1991 P Mint Mark Washington quarter with this error has reached an incredible $1.7 million. Show a graph depicting the rarity of error coins and the demand for them. So why is this coin valued at such a high price? The main reason is the rarity. This isn't a coin you're likely to find at your local coin shop or in circulation. Error coins, particularly those with double die reverses, are highly prized in the coin collecting world. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for such coins, and the competition to own one drives up the price significantly. Show a magnified image of the coin's reverse side, highlighting the areas affected by the double die error. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare error coins in your collection? The easiest way to spot it is by closely inspecting the reverse side of the coin, where the eagle is. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly around the feathers and the lettering. If you see the details appear to be slightly out of alignment or doubled, that's a strong indication that you may have a valuable coin on your hands. Show a person carefully handling a coin with gloves and placing it into a protective case. If you think you've found a 1991 P Mint Mark Washington quarter with the double die error, it's important to handle it carefully. Use gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints and place the coin in a protective holder. Then, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified, graded coin will fetch a much higher value in the market. If confirmed, you could be holding a piece of history that could fetch you millions. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1991 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. What once seemed like a simple coin from your pocket change could be a small fortune. If you have any 1991 P Mint quarters in your collection, it might be time to take a closer look. You never know. One of those could be worth $1.7 million. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep searching and keep collecting. We're diving into a coin that might just have some of you rummaging through your spare change to see if you've got one. We're talking about the 2006 P Mint Mark South Dakota $quarter, and its astounding current market value. Stick around to find out why this coin has been making waves in the numismatic community, with some of these coins going for as much as $1.80 million. First, let's set the stage. In 1999, the U.S. Mint began the 50-state quarters program, releasing a new quarter every 10 weeks to honor each of the 50 states. Each state quarter features a unique design representing something significant about the state. And that's where our coin of the day comes in. The 2006 South Dakota quarter. South Dakota, a state known for its rich history and iconic landmarks like Mount Rushmore, got its own quarter released in 2006. The design features a majestic image of Mount Rushmore with a bison, a creature that's deeply tied to the state's history, both as a symbol of strength and as an important part of its ecosystem. Now, here's where things get really interesting. While the state quarters were mass-produced, some of them have turned out to be worth far more than their face value. Far more. If you've been collecting quarters over the years, or even if you're just getting into coin collecting, You might be wondering what makes the 2006 mint mark South Dakota quarter so valuable. You see, in 2006, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, both in the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. So, what's so special about the P mint mark version? Well, the story is rooted in an error that occurred during the production process, specifically with the 2006 South Dakota quarter. There was a rare misstrike, or an anomaly in the production that caused the quarter to come out with unusual features, sometimes even missing key details like part of the design. These mistakes are what numismatists, or coin collectors, call errors. And just like any rare collectible, error coins can skyrocket in value. It's not just any 2006 South Dakota quarter that's worth a fortune, though. We're talking about those rare error pieces, ones that feature mistakes that are very hard to find. Now, you're probably asking, how much could these error quarters possibly be worth? Well, this is where things get really exciting. A pristine example of the 2006 South Dakota quarter with these rare minting errors has been known to fetch an extraordinary price at auction. In fact, one of these error quarters recently sold for a whopping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter with a minting error valued at $1.8 million. The reason these coins can command such high prices is because of how rare they are. Minting errors like this don't happen often, and when they do, they're almost always discovered by keen-eye collectors or investors who know exactly what to look for. The rarity, combined with the fascination that error coins generate, makes these particular South Dakota quarters highly sought after. Exactly should you be looking for? If you think you've got a 2006 South Dakota quarter that might be worth something, here are a few things to keep in mind. The design error. The most valuable error coins feature problems with the design, like double strikes, misalignments, or missing elements of the design. Condition. Like any collectible, condition matters. The better the condition of the coin, the more likely it is to have value. Authentication. If you think you've found one of these rare quarters, it's a good idea to have it authenticated by a professional. Coins like these are often graded by companies like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which can give it a certification that proves its authenticity. Conclusion before we wrap up. Remember that not every 2006 South Dakota quarter is worth millions of dollars. In fact, most of them are worth face value unless they have one of these rare errors. However, for the avid collector or investor, coins like these are proof that sometimes, something as simple as a quarter can turn into a treasure. Whether you're just starting your collection or have been at it for years, this rare coin is a perfect example of how the world of numismatics can surprise you. So, the next time you see a 2006 South Dakota quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know, you might just have $1 million find in your pocket. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might want to know more about coin collecting and the treasures hiding in plain sight.